This is that moment when Samsung begins to leak the good and the sketchy parts of their next generation products. As yes, we have a ton of leaks, teasers, and even official details on the Galaxy S21, which is getting very close. If you're waiting on the new iPad Pros, these new renders show a familiar design with some new tricks, and we have a crazy amount of CES announcements from Honor, NVIDIA, Intel, Qualcomm, and more. I'm Jaime Rivera, and I'm seriously going to stop complaining about going to Vegas for CES, because doing it virtually is so much worse. This is Pocketnow Daily. You already know this, the official news today, as always, begin with deals, and there is no better time to buy a Samsung product, either new or even old. You can still reserve the Galaxy S21 model that you want with up to $700 in trade-in and up to $60 in credit for accessories once you do, so make sure you check the first link in the description if you want that Galaxy S21 or at least are curious about it. Sticking around with Samsung and trade-in deals, the Z Flip is still a crazy $100. Yes, I said $100. The Z Fold 2 is still $1,000. Yes, I said $1,000, and you can also get the Galaxy S20 Ultra for $600. We also have deals on the Galaxy Note, but again, you need an eligible device for trade-in. If you don't have a device to trade in, we also have discounts from all of these devices on Amazon if you're still looking for a great deal. Now moving on, you can get a Google Pixel 4 for $295 off its original price tag, leaving it at $504 shipped. The M1 MacBook Pro, which I'm currently using, is still $60 off, leaving the entry-level variant for $1,239. The Razer Blade 15 is also $300 off. That leaves the Intel Core i7 RTX 260 model for $1,500. We have more deals on other laptops, AirPods, and Sony earbuds and headphones in the description. So yes, CES is going on, and before we get to specific launches, there are a ton of tidbits of good announcements that are newsworthy. Beginning with Qualcomm, as the company has just launched their second generation of their ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. This new sensor is 77% larger than its predecessor, and it works 50% faster. Now, this improved sensor will reportedly debut on the S21 if history repeats itself. And then Intel just announced their 11th generation Core H series of mobile chips, which power gaming laptops based on their 10nm process, supporting up to 5 GHz of clock speeds, PCIe Gen 4, Thunderbolt 4, and more features. But 10nm, like seriously, Intel? Then we've got the Jabra Elite 85Ts, which are some of my favorite earbuds, which just got 4 new colorways, including gold, copper, black, and gray, in case you were waiting for some variety. Fossil just announced their Gen 5 LTE, which brings a 45mm sleek design, and it now allows you to take calls directly on the smartwatch, which is pretty nice for $349, but it's obviously not new. And guys, again, I can't cover everything that was announced, so let me not bore you with that. We've got separate articles on everything we just talked about in case you're looking for details in the description. Now let's continue talking about CES, particularly with those specific computer parts that can make or break your gaming experience that just got announced in addition to others. Starting with AMD, they just unveiled their new Ryzen 5000 series of mobile processors. And those are actually divided into two families, the H and the U series. The H series is targeted at gaming enthusiasts in both 6 and 8 core variants with peak clock speeds of 4.8 GHz. Interesting considering that Intel is pushing 5 GHz. When it comes to the U series, these are aimed at ultrabooks and the rest as mass market laptops. These range from 4 to 8 cores with pretty much the same base specifications as some of the H series, but only push up to 4.4 GHz. AMD is looking at 23% higher single thread performances and up to 17% increase in multi-thread performance. Now moving on to NVIDIA, the company just unveiled their RTX 30 series laptop GPUs and RTX 3060 desktop GPUs. These are based on their 3rd generation Max-Q technology, offering up to 2 times ray tracing output, and the new Tensor cores are claimed to be 2 times more capable. Overall, NVIDIA is aiming at higher efficiency, better performance, and refined acoustics here. Over 70 laptops with this RTX 30 series will debut this month alone, so you can check out all of the specifics in the links below. For a minute there, I was like, are we writing this right? Is it really 70 or 7? But no, 70 laptops over the next month. That's insane. And let's continue talking CES now when it comes to Honor, as the company has just made a ton of announcements. And by the way, this is that time when Honor is now an independent company. First off, we've got the Honor MagicBook Pro, which brings a 16.1-inch display with a 90% screen to body ratio. Take that, Apple. It's powered by a 10th generation Intel processor, along with 16 gigs of dual-channel DDR4 RAM, 512 gigs of PCIe NVMe SSD, and then when it comes to cooling, it brings dual fans and dual heat pipes. It includes Bluetooth 5 and HDMI port, 3 USB-A ports, and a USB-C port, as well as a headphone jack and a fingerprint sensor. It apparently charges up to 50% in 30 minutes. But then moving on to wearables, we also got the Honor Band 6, which features a 1.47-inch AMOLED display supporting 10 workout modes and 14 days of battery life. It brings 5 ATM water resistance, and it brings a heart rate monitor, oxygen monitor, sleep and stress monitor, and even a female cycle tracker. It comes in 3 color variants, including Meteorite Black, Sandstone Gray, and Coral Pink. Sadly, we didn't get word on the price point specific to markets, but here's the thing, it's Honor. I'm sure it's going to be crazy affordable. All right, let's shift focus into rumors and let's start talking about Apple, as we do know that the company is planning an aggressive push when it comes to iPads, but it just gets even more interesting. Lately, there's been a ton of rumors on the upcoming iPads, as we're expecting a refresh to the regular iPad, and we're supposed to get the mini LED update in displays to the Pros very soon. Now, we have some new CAD renders of both iPad Pro models coming from 91 Mobiles and My Smart Price. Starting with the bigger model, it looks like it brings pretty much the same design language as the current model, with the boxy design and the single USB-C port, as well as a smart connector for the keyboard. The camera is still a dual module along with the LiDAR sensor, and then when it comes to the 11-inch version, it also looks like its predecessor, which we got back in 2020, but apparently it's going to be a couple of millimeters thinner and shorter. The CAD renders also show that we might be getting a Touch ID sensor similar to what we have on the iPad Air. You can also notice it on renders of the 12.9-inch iPad. That's an interesting change. We're expecting these iPads sometime this year, running on a variant of the A13 or A14 Bionic, along with a mini LED display. I don't know, it clearly seems like if iPad sales are up with the pandemic, because I have never seen Apple prepare so many iPads or so many changes to the iPad lineup in 2 years. And finally, the hottest news today have to do, of course, you guessed it, with Samsung. The fact that we're just a couple of days away from the company's Galaxy Unpacked, and man, we have got more leaks, teasers, rumors, you name it. Let's start with something official, as Samsung just posted a full teaser of the S21 series with the caption, "Welcome to the Everyday Epic." It teases a lot of camera capabilities, mainly video, low light, and zoom. It shows the silhouette of the device and some software tricks as well. Now, sticking with what's official, the company just announced the Exynos 2100, which will power the S21 depending on your region. Now, here's what's interesting. It's a 5G ready chip based on a 5nm process and tri-cluster core design, allowing for 30% increase in multi-core performance and a 40% boost in graphics performance. It allows some crazy tricks like handling 6 cameras and 200 megapixel resolution output, as well as handling 4K panels at up to 120 Hz or Quad HD Plus at 144 Hz. But we won't bore you with specifics. We'll have a specific link for all of this in the description. Now, back to the S21, we have some new posters showing off the design yet again, as well as teasing 5G capabilities, the storage tiers, and the cameras. Now, the poster getting the most headlines is the one showing off the box. As you can see, it's very thin, meaning it's pretty much official that we won't be getting a charger or headphones this year. Oh man, should I even say go green? But anyways, remember that you can already register to get the Galaxy S21 along with some crazy perks if you follow the first link in the description. So yeah, with that teaser and the poster, I mean, like, seriously, what else is left? But let us know in the comments down below, what do you think about Samsung's push with the Exynos processor? Because, you know, for years they've disappointed with performance and also specifications, but this time it seems that they figured out the specs. So the question is, do you trust in the company? Because in my case, I mean, hey, if they figure it out, I'm all game, but I'd like to see what they're doing. Leave us a comment down below. We'd love to know your opinion. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also, follow us on social media as our extended coverage happens on Instagram. And follow me on my personal handles to see me miss going to trade shows. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.